Hello, fellow creators. I get this question so much that I decided to make a video about it. How long should your YouTube videos be for YouTube? So today, I'm going to answer that question once and for all and give you advice on how long you should make your videos. So stick around. So I know why this question is plaguing you, because you see videos that are 5 minutes long, you see videos that are 30 minutes long, and you see videos that are like 3 hours to 10 hours long, right? Those do exist. So you're like, which video length should I choose? Well, let me break it down for you. Piece of advice number 1, it depends on your content. It really depends on the content you're posting, because some ideas take longer to explain than others. Some ideas you need to go deep and dive deep into those ideas for them to gain clarity about the topic you're talking about, while other topics might remain more surface level and are quick to get through because you're remaining more surface level about that topic. For example, if you're doing a step-by-step tutorial on how to do something, it might take longer to walk someone through all of those steps, to share your screen, to explain each step that you need to do in order to get to where they want to go. However, if you're just sharing a fun vlog or, your experience at a restaurant or something like that, it could be shorter because you can get the point across much quicker with visuals and the experience being presented, a more entertainment type of video. So think about the depth of the content you're sharing. How deep do you need to go with it? And do you need a lot of explanation behind that point? Or is it something that you can get direct to the point very fast and get people in and out as quickly as possible? So that would be something to ask yourself before you create your content. Is it something I need to explain in depth and take my time with explaining it? Or is it something that I could explain quite quickly and get to the point very fast? Point number 2 to consider is audience retention. This is key because the YouTube algorithm loves people staying on YouTube. That is the main goal of YouTube, to keep people watching forever. So if you can get people to watch as much of your video as possible, the whole video is ideal, but that's not going to happen all the time. If you can get them to watch as much of your video as possible, retain their attention for as long as possible, that's how long you need to make your video. Because the bigger percentage of what people are watching of your video will lead to YouTube pushing that video out to more people. So you want to retain people on your video for as long as possible. So it's not necessarily about the length of the video that's so important. It's about the engagement level within that video that's more important. So if you can keep people's attention on your channel from 10 to 20 minutes, fantastic. But if you notice people are falling off at 5 minutes, start making 5-minute videos and test those and see which one does better on your channel, which one is holding their attention longer. And if on the 5-minute video, it's not holding their attention, then you might want to think about how to make your content more engaging or more clear so that they can understand the concepts that you're sharing with them in a more user-friendly way. Now, point number 3 is consistency is key. The length of your YouTube videos should match your style and scheduling of videos. How long can you make your videos and stay consistent with your upload schedule? If you're making 1-hour videos and you want to post 3 videos a week and you're editing all your videos yourself, that doesn't really seem that sustainable, especially if you have a full-time job or a part-time job and you're only working on YouTube as a side hustle at the moment. So you also need to consider your schedule and your style of working with YouTube. If you're outsourcing your videos to an editor, it doesn't matter how long you make them, as long as you're giving people value in your videos and you're able to retain their attention. But if you are doing all the work yourself, which most new YouTubers are doing at the beginning, then you want to consider the length of the videos. If you want to produce 3 videos a week, it's a lot easier to produce 3 videos a week at 10 to 12 minutes versus 1 hour to 2 hour long videos, because the editing time is just going to be faster. And lastly, I kind of hinted at this in a previous tip, but it really also depends on what your audience wants. And the only way to know what your audience wants is to test different lengths of videos. And over time, you'll start to notice patterns. You'll start to notice which videos has more retention. And you'll also notice different types of videos take different amounts of time to get the point across. Like I gave the example earlier of tutorials versus, say, vlog style or behind the scenes or something like that. So if I'm doing a tutorial, it might be 10 to 15 minutes. But if I'm doing a motivational, inspirational video, it might only be 5 minutes, but then it could also be 40 minutes. And then if I test that, if I test my 5-minute motivational videos versus my 40-minute motivational videos, which one is doing better on my channel? And if you do enough of them, you can start to see the patterns and connect the patterns and do more of what's working on your channel and with your audience. So that's a really great thing to pay attention to, is the metrics behind your videos, and see what's working for your audience, because your audience is different than someone else's audience. And it's really important to pay attention to what your audience wants from you. And as a bonus tip, if you really are stuck on just give me a number, I just want to have a number, how many minutes should I do my videos? I would recommend, as a beginner YouTube, to start between 8 and 12 minutes. The reason I say 8 is because once you're monetized, at 8 minutes, you can get a mid-roll ad. So you have more potential to make money from ads on your videos once they are monetized. And between 8 and 12 minutes is sort of a sweet spot for people coming to your videos, because they're like, oh, I have 8 minutes of my day. I'm willing to give about 8 minutes to this person. Whereas if you did a 20, 30-minute video and you're a brand new YouTuber, someone might not want to give 20 minutes to someone they don't know. But 8 minutes, that's okay. It's less than 10, right? So I think the 8 to 12 minute time frame is quite good, because if it's over 15 minutes, that's pushing it towards 20, right? 15, 20 in their mind, they're thinking, oh, that's going closer to amount of time that I'm not willing to invest in this person I don't know. So I recommend, if you must have a number, 8 to 12 minutes is a great recommendation. However, I want to say that with a caveat that you really need to just take as much time as you need to get your point across clearly, and so that someone can understand it, ingest that information, absorb that information, learn that information, and be able to utilize it in their life so that they can go from point A to point B. And if you can do that successfully in your videos, it doesn't matter how long it takes. If it takes you 6 minutes to say something and it gets the point across and people understand it and utilize it and change their life, great. If it takes you 12 minutes to say that same thing because you go more deep with it and it really helps people to get understanding because you're giving examples from your personal life or your clients' lives or something like that, great, go with that. So it takes as long as it takes. But to remember that people's attention span is quite short nowadays, and to really pack it full, remove any extra fluff, and be as concise and direct as possible, as you possibly can be, so that you can keep the retention on your videos higher, and thus YouTube will push your videos out to more people. Okay, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.